Good morning, children. Okay. I welcome each one of you to this maths class. We are in 11th standard. Okay. I welcome each one of you. Now, before we start into our portions, let me ask why you selected applied maths? Why did you select applied maths? Pavitra, why? Just no. Okay.
Ma'am, because I'm interested to study maths.
Okay. Abdulaman, are you from this school itself, Abdulaman? Abdulaman? Yes, we are not able to hear Aman. You check your audios. Is it corrected? Is it connected properly? Check it. Or just send the message in chat box. If it is not possible, send the message in chat box. Pranav, tell me Pranav.
Hello.
Hmm.
I like it is related to my passion.
Okay, very good. Very happy to hear that one. Okay.
What
Vinay,
time?
okay. So it's your passion. So you are selected
Okay.
Max. Okay. Vinay is connecting. Okay.
Today, yes, and today's time every.
Okay, children. See, applied max. In 11th standard, we have two types of max, general max and applied max. In applied max, we have most of the topics, okay, related with commerce. Okay, we have few topics in common. Okay, today I'm going to give just a brief introduction about your paper. What is meant by applied maths and all. Okay, how we have to prepare, how we have to learn everything. Only the brief introduction I'm going to give it. Okay, so the difference between the general maths and applied maths is almost all the topics what they are learning, what the science students are learning, you will be also learning. The same topics are there for you. Is it okay? The topics what the science students are learning, everything is there for you, but you will be learning the more terms related to the business side, economic sides. You will not be learning trigonometric part. Okay, you have learned trigonometry in 10th standard. Friends, okay, the trigonometry topic is not there for you. They'll be learning trigonometry. And they'll be learning trigonometry in detail, and that part only they'll be in, okay, scientific terms they'll be learning, more terms related in integration and differentiation based on trigonometry. But for you, trigonometric functions and all is not there. Instead of that, we'll be learning that integration and derivations of functions. You'll be learning the functions. Almost all the topics are same, but trigonometric part is deleted for you. And statistics is the, instead of trigonometric part, you'll be learning more detail in statistics. Okay. There, in science students, they'll be learning statistics a little, but you will be learning in depth. You'll be learning more in statistics. Statistics is given more weightage for you. Okay. So like 10th standard, in 11th standard also, your total marks. In 12th standard also, the method is same. Total marks is 100, out of which 80 is the theory paper. 80 theory marks and 20 is internal assessment. 20 marks is internal assessment. In this 20 marks, 10 marks is for the project. CBSE has allotted some projects for you. Okay. We have to do one project for this year. Not only this year, 12th standard also, the method is same. 10 marks is for the project and 10 marks is for the practicals. You have some practicals. Practicals we'll be doing in Excel. Okay, statistics, we are finding average, we are finding maxima, minima, how to represent the data, profit function in graph, everything we'll be doing as a practicals in Excel. So 10 marks is for the practicals and 10 marks is for the project. For project, CBSE has given around 20 projects. From that 20, we'll be selecting one or two and we'll be doing the project. This is your full year evaluation. Okay. And this projects, assignments and all, what is given is, it will be evaluated in the class itself. Okay, whether you are submitting it on time, whether that's okay, whether you are submitting it on time. Is it regular? Assessment is done internally. So your attendance in the class is very important. Okay. Hmm? This is about your exam and your internal exams and all. Now, regarding to your subject, regarding to the syllabus, total 18 chapters are there. We have overall 18 chapters. This year, we'll be learning 18 chapters. Around 8 chapters are from statistics. 8 chapters are from statistics, and the remaining of, we have learned arithmetic progressions and all last year we have learned. So this year, along with our arithmetic progression, we'll be learning geometric progression. It's just a little step ahead. That means a little more we'll be learning. Last year, we have learned two-dimensional geometry, isn't it? In 10th standard, we have learned two-dimensional geometry. Can you give the other name of two-dimensional geometry? What is the name? Yes, yes, Pranav. Two-dimensional geometry. What is the other name we used here? In 10th standard, we learned with the, what is the topic subchapter name? We used the distance formula and all. Yes, Pavitra, what is the name of the chapter? Cartesian geometry. Is or no? Last year we learned coordinate geometry or Cartesian geometry. This is a two-dimensional geometry. So this year, okay, we'll be learning about three-dimension. Okay, a little more we'll be learning extra. We are going to learn three-dimensional geometry. Okay, in last year we have learned probability. We learned only simple beginning relate terms related to probability. This year we'll be learning a little advanced. We'll be classifying these probabilities. We'll be dividing the events and all. We'll be learning more about probability. Likewise, last year we learned circles. Is that no? Circles. Did we learn about circles? So this year also we are going to learn about circles. Along with, we'll be learning different sections of cone. That is what called conic sections. We'll be learning about conic sections. What are the different sections of cone? Okay, so it is actually a continuation of 10th standard along with a little more we will be learning. It is an easy one. Okay. So my request to you is, whenever one's class is over, I'll be giving some homework questions. Like last year, I expect each one of you to do the homework regularly. And whenever, what is being taught in the class, write it in the paper and keep it in your file. Keep it in your Max folder. It should be written neatly. It should be there. Heading, chapter wise, everything should be kept ready for submission. So regularly it should be updated. Okay, homeworks also you should do it and keep it in your folder. And whenever it is asked for submission, you have to submit it. Okay, shall we start? Okay, I think we can start with the first chapter. Write down. Chapter 1, set theory. Chapter 1, set theory. Chapter 1, set theory. Okay, before going in depth into the set theory, what are the different types of number system we have learned? Can you give the number systems that we have learned? Number system. What is the basic number system we have learned? Yes, answer it, children. And try to answer it. What is the basic system we are learning? From where we started? Number system. Okay. Can you see this, children? The PowerPoint is it? Can you see this one? Okay. Going to set here. It's a set. A set is a collection of well-defined objects. A set is a collection of well-defined objects. Set is a collection of well-defined. What is the meaning of well-defined? It is defined clearly. It is defined exactly. No one will be having a doubt when we check it, whether it is a set or not. So, what is a set? A set is a collection of well-defined objects. It is a collection of well-defined objects. Okay. Earlier I asked you, can you give the different types of number system? Can you give the different types of number system we are learning? Tell me, Pranav, try it. Try it. Yes. What's the first? Okay. What are the different number system we are learning? From there we can start.
Whole numbers.
Whole numbers, very good. Earlier to whole numbers, what is the next one? Earlier to that? Before this? Yes.
Natural numbers.
Very good. Natural numbers. We start from natural numbers, isn't it? So natural numbers is a set. Natural numbers, collection of natural numbers. It is a set. So natural numbers means it starts from 1, 2, 3, and so on, isn't it? Numbers used for counting. Okay, first children, first you listen. You can write it afterwards. First you listen. Okay, I'll give time for copy. First you listen. So what is a set? Set is a collection of well-defined objects. It is defined well. Once an element is given, we will be able to say whether it is present in that set or not. For example, you take the collection of natural numbers. Collection of natural numbers means we have 1, 2, 3, etc. If I give -5, when I answer me whether -5 is in that system, whether -5 belongs to the set of natural numbers.
No.
No, it is well defined, isn't it? So once an element is given, we can say whether it belongs to that set or not. Abdul Aman, what about the number 55? 55, 55, whether it belongs to the natural numbers? Yes. Okay, good. Okay, answer is correct. Okay. So 55 belongs to the set of natural numbers. Okay, so now I hope you understand the meaning of well-defined. If I say positive 2 by 3, is it in the natural number, whether it belongs to that set? Yes, Pavitra, positive 2 by 3, whether it belongs to n. Pavitra, Akshay. Yes, Pavitra, tell me, Pavitra, whether 2 by 3 belongs to the set of natural numbers. Okay, Pranav, tell me, Pranav, what about 2 by 3?
No.
No. 2 by 3 does not belongs to the set. So, okay, so here it is well defined. So natural numbers means the numbers we use for counting. Only those numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. will be existing in natural numbers. A number in the form P by Q does not belong to the natural number. So it is clearly defined. That is why we call the definition of set as it is a collection of well-defined objects. What is the definition, Vinay? What is a set?
Is a collection of well-defined objects.
So it is a collection of well-defined objects. So if you take some sets in maths, in maths, in number system, we use this set. N is the set of all natural numbers. We denote it with capital N. Capital N is natural numbers. Set of all natural numbers. And we denote that using the alphabet capital N. What about whole numbers? Whole numbers. Whole numbers means it consists the elements 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. And the set of all whole numbers we denote with the alphabet W. We denote it with the alphabet W. So we use alphabets, capital letters only for representing the set. Okay. So natural numbers, whole numbers. Then what about the next one? What about the next one, children? After this, after learning whole numbers, what is the next system we have learned? What about the next type of numbers we have learned? Yes, after this, what we have learned? After learning whole numbers. In 6th standard, what we are learning? Children, if it goes wrong, no problem. Okay, don't hesitate. You come with the answers. Okay, if it goes wrong, no problem. From our mistakes only we will learn. Okay, so don't hesitate. Pavitra, tell me, Pavitra.
Integers.
Very good. You know the answer. Then we are not giving. Okay, give the answer. Good. It is next is set of all integers. Next is set of all integers. So integers means positive and negative numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Similarly here -1, -2, etc. And the integers we denote it as Z. We use the alphabet Z. Okay, we use the alphabet Z for representing the integers. Okay, we use Z for representing the integers. Okay, hereafter in the problem and all, we'll not be writing natural numbers and all. Instead of that, these alphabets will be used. Okay, from 11th standard onwards, when you go for higher classes and all, instead of writing in wordings, we use this alphabets. N means natural numbers. Z means integers. Then, after learning integers, what's the next thing we have learned? Yes, integers. Then, yes. Next is P by Q form. P by Q form. P by Q form means? Yes, Pranav. P by Q. Numbers of the form P by Q. But P and Q are integers with Q not equal to 0. That means rational numbers. Okay, so next comes rational numbers. So rational numbers means numbers of the form which can be written in the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers with Q not equal to 0. P and Q are integers with Q not equal to 0. Okay, and the rational numbers, we denote it with the alphabet Q. Rational numbers means it is denoted with the alphabet Q. So natural numbers are denoted by N Whole numbers are denoted by the alphabet W. Integers are denoted by the letter Z. Rational numbers are denoted by the letter Q. Then next, what is the next thing we have learned? Next type. After rational numbers, next we have learned. Yes, in that word itself, you add two more alphabets. You will get the answer. What is it?
Irrational.
Irrational numbers. So next is irrational numbers. Next is irrational numbers. So what is meant by irrational number? Numbers which cannot be expressed in the form xp by q. Numbers which cannot be expressed in the form p by q. Okay, which cannot be expressed in the form p by q. Can you give an example? Try for one example for irrational number. Yes, give one example of irrational number. Vinay,
√3.
very good. √3. Okay, 2 are some irrational numbers. Numbers which cannot be written in the form p by q are irrational numbers. And listen children, irrational numbers we denote with I. We use the letter I. Okay, we use the alphabet I. Now, what about the collection of rational numbers and irrational number? What about the collection of rational numbers and irrational numbers? What about the collection of rational numbers and irrational numbers? What we call? Collection of rational and irrational. With irrational is called? Yes, what we call? It is real numbers. Okay, real numbers. Real numbers is collection of all rational and irrational numbers. And the alphabet we use is R. And we use the alphabet capital R. Okay, these are some notations we use. Okay, hereafter we'll be using these notations while doing the problems and all. We'll not be writing real numbers and all. We use R. We use Q for representing rational numbers. We use the alphabet N for representing natural numbers. We use the letter N for natural numbers, R for real numbers, and so on. Okay, and this year we will be learning another type of numbers. Okay, so this is called complex numbers. Okay, this year only we are going to learn about this complex numbers. What is meant by complex numbers? Not real numbers. The numbers which are up to this. Is it clear for you? Is it okay? So which are the alphabets we use for representing real numbers? Vinay, real numbers are represented by the alphabets
R.
R. Complex numbers we represent it with the
C.
C. And Z is for Pavitra. Z for
Integers.
integers. And what about I, Pranav Sajan?
Irrational.
Irrational. Okay, now listen. The next one. Okay, write down all those things. Okay. All the notations we should be get familiar with that. Next notation is R plus. What does R plus mean? What is R plus? Can you guess what is R plus? R is, what does R stands for? R stands for? Yes, R stands for?
Real.
Real. Plus means positive, isn't it? Plus stands for positive. So R plus means positive real numbers. Positive real numbers. Only the positive real numbers we take. We are not taking the negative numbers. What about R minus? R minus.
Negative real number.
Very good. It is negative real numbers. It is negative real numbers. R star. Okay, some star. Star symbol will be used. R star. What is meant by R star?
Multiplication.
Yes.
Multiplication.
Multiplication. Okay, in computer, you are saying. Okay, it's okay. In computers, I think you use star for representing multiplication. Okay. What is R star? Star. Okay, here R star we use it for representing non-zero real number. It is non-zero real number. Okay. All the positive numbers are there, all the negative numbers is there. Only thing is removed is 0. See, R star, in other way we can write this as R minus 0. R minus 0. From the real numbers, we remove 0. From the real numbers, we remove 0. So we get non-zero real numbers. R star is non-zero real numbers. In the same way, we can define Q star. What is meant by Q star? What does Q stands for? What does Q stands for?
Rational number.
Q stands for rational. Therefore, Q star means it is non-zero rational number. Non-zero rational number. So these are the different sets in numbers. In mathematics, we use different types of sets like this. Mathematics, we are using different types of sets like this. Up to this, is it okay, children? Is it okay? Different types of sets. What is a set? Once again, tell me, what is a set? What is a set? Yes, what is a set? It is a collection of well-defined objects. Set is a collection of well-defined. Set is a collection of well-defined. It is defined properly. It is defined. Okay, now look at this. Look at this examples. Odd natural numbers less than 10. You take all the odd natural numbers less than 10. Which are the odd natural numbers less than 10? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Isn't it? Suppose we give 8. Is it present in that? Is it an odd natural number? Is it an odd natural number, Krishna Kanti?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it, if I give 8, is it an odd natural number?
No.
No, isn't it? Therefore, it is a set. We can, once an element is given, we can check whether the element is present or not present. We can give the answer correct. Answer will not change. Answer will be same. If you ask it to any person, or if you ask it tomorrow, okay, the answer will be same. If you ask it from any place, okay, that means the answer is not varying. The answer will be same. 8 is not an odd number. Similarly, if I give 9, you can say it is there. Is that no? So it is well defined. So it is a set. Now I'll ask one question. Suppose I give an example like this. Collection of, listen here, collection of talented actors. Talented actors in Malayalam. Is it a set? In Malayalam movie, collection of all talented actors. If I take collection of talented actors, will it be a set? Who is that? Okay, Vinay, can you give one talented actor?
Fahad Fasil.
Fahad Fasil. He'll be saying Fahad Fasil. But if you ask it to your grandmother and or what the grandmother will say, whether she will accept it, grandmother will be accepting it. No, okay. She'll be saying the old days heroes. Okay. Huh? She'll be saying not Mohanlal and her grandmother will be knowing some other. Okay. Madhu. They'll be saying Madhu is the most talented actor. Is that no? If you ask your grandmother whether Fahad Fasil is a good actor, what your grandmother will be saying? No, isn't it? But if you ask your friend, he'll be saying yes, isn't it? So the answer is varying. It is changing. Few of them are accepting, few of them are not accepting, isn't it? So here, what we can say, the collection of most talented actors is not a set. Is it clear? Is it okay, children? Why we are saying it is not a set? Why it is not a set? Why? Tell me, why we are saying it is not a set? The answer will vary, isn't it? Few of them will be saying it is correct. Few of them will be saying it is not correct. Okay, therefore it is not a set. Okay, same way. Suppose I'm giving an example. Collection of rivers flowing in India. Collection of rivers flowing in India. Is it a set or not? Think it's collection of rivers flowing in India.
Yes.
Yes, it is a set. Okay, very good, Vinay. Why you are saying it is a set?
The answer is not varying.
Yeah, it will not vary, isn't it? If I give the river name Mississippi, what you will say? Is it an Indian river? Mississippi. Mississippi? No, isn't it? It is not. So we can say it is not an Indian river. If I give Brahmaputra, then you'll be saying yes, it is there. Is that no? If I say river Krishna, you'll be saying yes. If I say river Nile, no. Okay, so the answer will be same. If you ask it to someone also, they'll be accepting it. Okay. So these are set means it is well defined. The answer will not change. It is defined correctly. We can make a clear cut whether an element belongs to it or not. Okay, we'll not get both the answers. Okay, so look at the examples here. The rivers of India is an example of set. Look at the next example. The vowels in the English alphabet. Which are the vowels in the English alphabet? Yes, vowels in English alphabet. A, E, I, O, U, isn't it? So if I give the letter B, is it a vowel? The letter B, is it a vowel? No, it is not at all a vowel. So it is defined. It is defined correctly. So collection of vowels is a set. Collection of vowels is a set. Look at the next one. Various kinds of triangles. Various kinds of triangles. Is it a set? Paitra, what is your answer? Various kinds of triangle. Is it a set?
Yes.
Yes, isn't it? Suppose I give a square. Will it be belonging to that set?
No.
No. If I give right angle triangle, it is there. Okay. Look at the next example. Prime factors of 210. Prime factors of 210. So what are the prime factors of 210? Let's find out the prime factors of 210. 210, when you divide it by 2, we will get 105. Am I correct, children? When you divide by 5, it is 21. When you divide by 3, it is 7. So we can write 210 as 2 into 3 into 5 into 7. So which are the prime factors? 2, 3, 5, 7 are the prime factors of 210. Suppose I give 13. Is it a prime factor of 210? No, it is not. Therefore, it is not a set. Okay. So collection of numbers, which are the factors, which are the prime factors of 210 is also a set. Look at the next one, the solution of the equation x square. Okay, this is x square, children. Okay, x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. Last year we have learned how to solve a quadratic equation. We are finding the solution of the quadratic equation x square minus 5x plus 6. We are finding the solution of x square minus 5x plus 6. What about the solution of x square minus 5x plus 6 is 0? We have learned this, isn't it? What is the product? Product is 6. Sum is 5, negative 5. Product is 6, sum is negative 5. Product is 6, sum is negative 5. So what are the different possible factors of 6? What are the possible factors of 6? 1 and 6 is there. 2 and 3. Only these are the two possibilities. Among which one will satisfy here? Which set of numbers will satisfy this condition? The 1, 6 will satisfy? No, isn't it? No. Here this one will satisfy. But we want sum as minus 5. So we want put minus here, negative 2 and negative 3. So we use the method splitting the middle term. Minus 2x minus 3x plus 6 is 0. Now from here, if you take x as common, we get x minus 2. And minus 3 is common, we'll get x minus 2 as 0. Now from these two terms, we can take one x minus 2 as common. So x minus 2 into x minus 3 is 0. Therefore, x is 2, 3. X is 2 and 3. Therefore, what is the solution here? What is the solution set? The solution is 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 are the solutions of x square minus 5x plus 6. Therefore, is it a set? Look at the question here. The solution of the equation x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0 are 2 and 3. Therefore, that is also a set. Suppose I give minus 5, we can say it is not a solution. Suppose I give minus 10 is not a solution. If the number is 2, it is a solution. So we are able to define it properly. Okay, we are able to define it correctly. We say it is a set. So write down what is set, what is the definition of set. Hope you all copied that definition. Pavitra, what is a set?
A set is a collection of well-defined objects.
A set is a collection of well-defined objects. So in maths, we are using so many set notations. What are the different types of sets we are learning? Natural numbers. And natural numbers, we denote it with the alphabet N. Next comes, yes, tell me, each one of you give one set with the alphabet we use. Vinay, start. Vinay. Yes, Vinay, what is the next number we are using? What's the next set? Next is whole numbers.
Whole number.
We denote
W.
W. The next comes Abdulrahman. Next is, give one example with the alphabet we are using. Example of set in number system with alphabet.
Thank you.
Integers, we denote it as Z. And rational numbers, we denote it as Q. Real numbers, we denote it as R. And what about R plus? Positive real numbers. R star means non-zero real numbers. Okay. Okay, children. I think with this we can stop. Okay, so in the next class, just go through the notations, learn the definitions, go through the notations and come. Okay, meet you in the next class. Thank you.